Hey y'all, welcome back to Mulberry Branch Farm. My name is Ashley and today we're just doing some goat chores. I just got done milking my girls. It is an amazingly beautiful August 2nd day. We have had nothing but 90s with heat indexes in like the 100s for the last, it feels like month. And yesterday and today it's been really sunny and a high of 70. I am using today to get all of my chores done, whether it has to be with maintenance. So you guys see I've already got that, and look at all the rivets from I told you guys, like, I've had a good year. Today we're getting ready to settle in and do some of our maintenance today to prep for breeding. So we aim to breed here for spring kids. So in August, we're still a little ways out, but I do have some girls that they're just brood foundation does. They give me really great kids, and my kids grow best in the wintertime. Therefore, they will be bred to give me replacement does for the most part, and to also supply me with milk and things to get me through the winter time when it's not normally when we're kind of doing our milking. But behind me, I've got everything set up. I have an array of different chemical dewormers. We don't use chemical dewormers here unless we absolutely have to. So we'll be checking FAMACHAs today, checking the inner membranes of their eyelids to see if they are anemic. Anemic or anemia can be a signal that a goat has a heavy worm load and that they might need a little help chemically to get rid of it. Normally we use Land of Avila's herbal dewormer as a preventative, and that works great for us. So if we see that FAMACHAs are good, we're not going to touch them with chemicals. Also, we are milking goats, and anything that you put into a goat for production comes out like through milk and meat. So a lot of these things will have like withdrawal dates. I think 7 to 9 days is the normal for milk. It's a little longer for meat. I don't plan anybody that's coming through here to be consuming them for freezer meat anytime soon. So we've just got a couple different dewormers here. I will talk about some of these dewormers. So you can see we have valbazin, we've got cydectin. This is actually prohibit, which you can see is granular mixed from behind. Then I have Ivercare, which is ivermectin. Then I've got Panicure. We have selenium here for, we are in a selenium deficient area. We're going to be hoof trimming. We're doing copper. But the reason that we have all of these different types of dewormers is that when we do seem to need to deworm, we find it's more effective to dual deworm. So we have our white dewormers, which is going to be your valbazin, which is an albendazole, and Panicure, which is a fenbendazole. And you guys can see, like, it says that on here what type of dewormer these are, because there's not a catch-all for all the types of worms. So each one of these different types of dewormers, you can see cydectin is a clear dewormer along with prohibit. This is a moxidectin, and this is a levamisole type dewormer. So we pair clear with white, and that seems like it catches everything. We'll be administering boluses through a copper bolus gun. I find this gun a little difficult to use with Nigerians because it's made for like larger animals. So there are some times that if they spit it out, I'll just take my finger and just like toss it, open the mouth and toss it in the back. You can open these. For Nigerians, I use the bolus for kids so that we're not overdosing them. They're getting an appropriate amount. You can overdose copper. Copper, though, is very important for goats when it comes to being able to resist parasites, coats, stay a little bit healthier, especially if you have black goats. Black goats tend to show redness in their fur. If they're losing fur, it's zinc. Now, anybody who's had black goats that have skin problems, it's usually a zinc deficiency. Zinc and copper do not mix. They bind one another so that it doesn't really... it doesn't come into the system the way that it does. It doesn't absorb correctly. So if I have anybody who's zinc deficient, I'm not going to be giving them copper. And I have anybody who's copper deficient, I'm not going to be giving them zinc. It's rare for me to give zinc. I give zinc to my darker goats. It seems like usually in the wintertime is when I start to see zinc deficiencies pop up. But we do give copper boluses here. We give them in a bolus form. I don't open them up and put them into like... probiotics unless I have to, because I have a goat that just will not take it in a bolus style. It works best in the bolus because the weight of all those rods in a bolus, like capsule form, sits better in the bottom of the stomach to slowly dissolve over time and to have copper readily available for the system as a slow leaching type deal. Whereas if they get the rods and they chew them up, they become smaller, they're less weight bearing, and a lot of them are just going to pass through their system. Doesn't mean all of them will, but it's probably not going to be as effective. But sometimes we just have chewers that they don't want the bolus and they're going to spit it up and make your life really difficult. The next thing that I have out here, which you can see it's been well used. I do have from the Cornell website the deworming chart that gives by weights and different types of worming families how much those goats should be getting per weight. Then I also have this written down in my health binder, like Banamine, both all things that I would normally use in my herd, how much they need per weight and like how it should be given. So like thiamine is 4 cc's per 100 pounds intramuscular or sub-Q. And I have that it burns so that I know that when I give this type of shot that there's going to be quite a heavy reaction. Then I have individual pages that I've created through Canva, and these are just what I've created for me. So I've got the name of the animal, the date that we've serviced that animal, and how we did it. So I have all kinds of different types of dewormer up here: copper bolus, multimin, CDT, hoof trim, and toltazeril. This is more for my younger animals. This is a coccidia prevention. And you can tell I just go through and I check mark. And if I have anything on here that I do that is not an option that I've created for myself up here, I just like literally write it in the line in a blank space, or I date down here in my notes section. This is a really useful tool for me when it comes to culling animals and to keep track of how many times I'm touching an animal. Now, if you're homesteading or you're doing like more of a pet thing, it's good. You need to really be keeping maintenance and keeping good, healthy goats. And it's nice to keep notes on that. But on a production side, it's even more important, because the more time I touch an animal or have to intervene, that's money. That's my time. That's money and resources. And when you start to get to a larger operation, or you have lots of goats and you have to start culling until you cry, you might have 2 animals that are really healthy, that they appear to be the same on the outside confirmation, whether it be through milk tests, linear appraisal shows, any of those things of which different goat breeders put it a higher priority. Sometimes this is my make it or break it. Or I have animals that are very similar, and all of those different types of tiers of importance when it comes to what I'm doing and my goals on my farm, I will go here and see how many times did I have to touch them. And this also relies on you being good about being a good steward and making notes. Yes, we get busy. And there are times that I know that I don't note my health book, but when I do regular maintenance like this, we don't always deworm everybody. We only deworm when we feel like we need to, because their intervention has to happen. Dewormers are not cheap. Valbazin is actually out of stock in lots of places. It's back ordered until October. It is August 2nd right now. So that's a long way to be waiting, especially in barber pole season when Valbazin is very effective against barber pole. This is going to help me make my cuts when all else fails, or it's like I love them both, but I can't keep all of them. And guys, I do love all of my goats, but I just, if I had unlimited resources and time and I didn't have to work a full-time job to do this on top of everything else, then this wouldn't matter at all. I would just take care of all of them and love them all and have all the endless time. But at 9 to 5, man, it kills me. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple of does. I'll probably only show you a couple of the does, like from start to finish. You guys know I'm chatty and I like to talk about goats, so that'll be something for you to watch while you listen to my very, very annoying voice throughout the rest of this video. Haha, gotcha. Let me bring you guys a little closer just so you can kind of see what I'm doing a little bit more clearly. Maybe. Avi was bred. Oh, she had babies last December, so she's going to be due to be bred here soon. So I'm just going to look at her hooves are really bad, guys. So you can tell I haven't had a lot of time to do her hooves. They are overgrown, they're folded over. So I'm going to go ahead and clip her hooves. Maybe she'll be good and let me show you here without her getting too intensely crazy. I'm just going to kind of clean out the debris with the tips of my... I'm using silver lines here. I will put a link to silver lines down in the description. These are really, really nice hoof trimmers. They just stay really sharp. The only bad thing when they're really sharp like this, if they move, I can easily cut myself. Silver lines are by far what I prefer. They really hold up. So I'm just kind of taking off excess. I want to keep the bottom of this hoof flat so that she is very stable and level as she moves. You guys can already see there's a big difference here. So this one, she's very overgrown and flipped out. And it's been a wet season, so you will find sometimes like when it's wet, their hooves just are softer. They mold to like however they're walking. I don't want to take too much off on that pad over heel because they're like us. You can go down to the blood. I do that more so when they fight me. As long as they don't fight me, I'm not making like really crazy cuts or anything. If you have any damage to like the hoof walls, it's better to take those out, because when there's openings or separations from the hoof wall to like the quick, that's where dirt and debris can get up in there, and it'll cause like them to have hoof rot, have just like general issues with their feet. And the longer they can stay on their feet, the more they can eat, the more they can produce, the healthier they are. So, and she looks really good. I'm just making sure that when you clip a goat's hooves, the bottom, the sole of the foot should be parallel with like the band around the top of the hoof, which would be a coronary band in a horse, I believe. I don't remember what it's called. But that should be parallel. You don't want it being down or up. You want it to be parallel so that they have like a really nice level pad to skirt. And her back feet are really bad too. I don't know. You guys can see how bad her back feet are. They're folded over too. I don't like them getting to this point, but I have so many. Sometimes it's difficult to stay up to date. My husband is deciding to weed eat while I'm doing this, which is fine. The weed eating needs to get done. Okay. I'm gonna do my best to show you guys how I swore her FAMACHA. It's gonna be different because I'm gonna be on the wrong side. I really like to do it from the other side, but I really just take good hold. I place my thumb over her eye to get her to close, and then pull down. And you can see like that other membrane pops up, and she is a little light. She's a big fat girl, but she is light in her FAMACHA, so I will be giving her a chemical dewormer along with her copper bolus. I don't think I'm really gonna be able to show you guys how I do her bolus, just because like it requires me to be like on. I really like to be on this side, and I put her head through here in bolus. So I'm just gonna show you how I load my bolus gun. So I've got these copper boluses. I've got my bolus gun, and you can tell like this is when it needs to be loaded. So I put this down. It's down in there. When I want to launch it into her throat, I push up like this, and you can tell like it brings the bolus up to the top. So I don't think you guys are gonna be able to really see me do this very well because I'm right-handed, so I will go around her head to do it, but you guys can watch me struggle from this angle. You can watch me struggle from this angle. And I can already hear her trying to chew on it, so I don't know if that was successful, but I'm just kind of gonna hold her mouth up. So she's going to chew it. She's not going to spit it out, but she is chewing, and I could tell. So this is not a really good first 6. So okay, so we're gonna give her some dewormer. I'll go on the other side. She's like, "Oh, Mom, no more, no more." So what happens when you volunteer, love? You won't be volunteering again anytime soon when I come out there, will you? Okay. I'm just gonna put this in, put her back in there so she doesn't have a whole lot of chance to get it out. Now with a drench gun like this, you can really get this pretty far back into her mouth. And I'm gonna come in through like right by the cheek and go into the back. There we go. Good boy, good boy. Now we're ready for breed. We're ready to have babies again. So and you can tell like just as an overall, like she's a big healthy goat. She's not showing off her better qualities standing here like this. It makes her look pretty like broken in the chine and roached in her loin into her rump, but she's really not. When she's outside, she's really smooth on the move. For any of those that is big on conformation or becoming more involved in conformation like I am. But she's not fat because she does not have like a roll over here in the elbow. This is where you can tell if your dairy goats are really fat, that in their tail head, and she's got no fat around her tail head. She's well hydrated. Her coat looks good. We're just going to go against the grain real quick. See if we need to do any lice treatments, because lice usually sits right up here along the withers. Do you? Is that a lice? And she does have some lice, so we're gonna treat her really fast for that. I use Silence, and we got out. So I really need to be making another run. So I got Silence here, and where is, let me go ahead and get, 6 cc's along the back is normal for adult goats, so I'm just gonna bring her up here for 6 cc's. If you reuse syringes, empty syringes like I do, once you put Silence in here, don't reuse it, throw it away. So I'm just gonna take this, I'm actually gonna go against, I'll go on the other side so you guys can see this. When I administer this, it's a drench, a pour on along the back, so I'm gonna go against the fur just to make sure, and just slowly put it all out across her back of her hair, and there she goes. And she is good. Now, you can also give ivermectin injectable for mites and lice like that, but this is just what I choose to do. I just think it's a little less invasive, or I have python dust. If you don't like to do that direct on the skin, then you have like python dust that you can use, and that'll help with your mice and your lice too. But this is basically what I'm going to be doing with each one of these does. I am not going to do a time lapse or show you guys anymore, mostly because it's super boring and I need to get this done, and I want to listen to a podcast and I film with my phone. So this is kind of what we do to go through with our does to get them ready for breeding season. It's really not all that different for our bucks. We do a condition scoring. I look them over, and because I've shown my bucks heavily this year, I know they're all in really, really good condition. Their hoofs have been kept up to date. They haven't hardly had to be dewormed. They will probably get like a preliminary deworming if they look like they need it. Lice treatment, because lice and mites are prevalent really like in spring and fall. We're getting ready to go into a fall. I know, it's okay. You're okay. She's like, get me out of here, Mom. The food's gone. So that's really what we're doing to do our evaluations for breeding and to prep our girls for breeding. The boys will get copper boluses too, and we go from there. So that's how we get our does and our bucks ready for breeding season. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions, drop those down in the comments below. I love learning from other goat breeders. Just don't get offended if I don't change my practices based on suggestions. I'm like everybody here. What I do on my farm is what I do on my farm because it works for me. If it doesn't work for you, mold it, change it, don't do it, throw it out the window. It's worth as much value as you put onto it. And sometimes I adopt things from my farm and sometimes I don't. Sometimes what I'm doing works best for me and mine, and we stick with it until there's a problem, and then we explore things. But that's what we've got going on here with my girls. So if you guys liked learning about how to prep your does in preparation for breeding season, or you have questions about it, go ahead, drop me a comment below. If you like content with goats, this is your channel. Thank you for spending your time here with me on Mulberry Branch Farm. My name's Ashley. I hope that you are all staying healthy out there and being kind to one another. We will catch you all in the next one. God bless you. Bye, y'all. Say bye, Avi. She's over it. I'll put you back, girl. I'll put you.